Hello, everyone, and welcome to the official Hart Energy Online Press Office Partner webinar. Today we are going to be discussing the online press office for all of the Hart Energy events, as well as some tips and tricks on how you can boost your ROI and presence at the events, and also just some packages and offerings that Virtual Press Office and PR Newswire have for the events. Today's presenters are going to be myself. This is Gina Espinosa. I am the Event Marketing Manager at Virtual Press Office. And also we have Lisa Kopak-Miller. She is one of the account managers with Virtual Press Office. And a little bit of background about us. Virtual Press Office is the trade show division of PR Newswire. We deliver electronic communication solutions in support of our clients' public relations and sales programs. We serve over 8,000 organizations, including global event organizers, trade associations, newswire services, public relations agencies, and companies. We're currently the global leader on online press office management and trade show news distribution, and over 400 events rely on VPO's services. From this foundation, we have developed a successful formula to reduce your client's news distribution and marketing costs while greatly expanding reach, measurement, and ROI analysis. So now we're just going to give you a general reference of what the online press office looks like for the Hart Energy events. This is a sample page of where you'll find the press releases coming out of the show from both the exhibitors as well as the show itself. And on the right-hand side, you will be able to find all of the company online press kits. And this is where each company will house their news and fact sheets, brochures, really anything that you put in an online press kit. And we also stream in social media and other components around the web. We have articles streaming from third parties, tweets that relate to each specific event, as well as any YouTube videos that are about the event. So it's really a great comprehensive news page for media and any attendees to find information about the show. So this is a sample of what an online press kit actually looks like and what it includes. On the top of the page, you receive some branding. So you'll have your name, logo, and URL. You also receive a company contact or PR contact listing for easy follow-up with journalists, as well as a 50-word company description. And down more towards the bottom is where you will see your press materials. Again, this is any of your press releases, your brochures, fact sheets, anything that you would want to put in front of the media. And also with this package, it's not just the posting of your documents. You also receive distribution of your press releases to attending media at the event, as well as VPO's global database of industry-specific media, industry professionals, bloggers, really anybody who signs up for our site to receive that industry news, they will get pushed your press releases as well. Also included in this is a measurement for you. After the show, you'll receive a post-show media usage report. And this will outline which journalists had access to your news, which we will go into a little bit more detail towards the end of the presentation. And these online press kit packages start at $665. And we also have packages available which include deeply discounted premier PR Newswire services. And we'll, again, also touch on some of those services later in the presentation. And now Lisa is going to touch on how to reach media before the show.
Thanks, Gina. This is Lisa Miller. I'm an account manager with the Virtual Press Office. So let's go over some ways to get the media's attention before the event. That slide that Gina went over that had the overview of the online press kit with all the different feeds coming in, the press kit tab is the one that you have control over. So that's the space for you to post all of your content that will then feed into the latest headlines, and will be sent out to the media. So let's talk about some best practices for how to use that press kit. Let's talk about pre-show. It's always a good idea to post some sort of pre-show media advisory so that the press are aware that you're attending that event and to go over what they can expect from you at the show. In general, when you're doing a direct pitch to the media, they do prefer email. That's just the easiest way to get a hold of journalists. They're usually not sitting at a desk for very long. So email pitches are great. And then it's really nice to do an individual email to the journalist that you really want to target rather than, or in addition to doing your blast marketing. If you keep the subject line very short and interesting, so something that they can see the full subject in a preview and make it specifically targeted to that journalist. So you will want to look at topics that the journalist has covered in the past and really, really craft your message to that specific contact. Another good perspective to take when you're doing your pre-show pitch is what we call a news jack, which is basically injecting your angle into a trending topic within your industry. So if there's a discussion that's out in the news or in the trade publications about what is going to be talked about during that event, maybe you can talk about how your company could contribute to that discussion. So it's a new point of view on a current topic from your company. So things like that will really grab the media's attention and help you get some pre-show buzz going. This is a good example of a pre-show media advisory. You want to kind of keep this to a short and clear format, maybe bullet points. Make sure to include things like who is the media contact, their contact details, your booth number, and then a quick, clear overview of what to expect at your event. So going back to the classic who, what, where, when, why, and how format of a release is really good for a pre-show advisory to get a short message across about what to expect. So let's tie this back to creating an engaging press kit and how to include this type of information in your press kit. This is a good example of an online press kit that's included all sorts of materials. What I mean by that is, you'll have your pre-show advisory, maybe a second release that's more breaking news during the event. But you also want to take a step back and think about what's in your inventory of materials that would be relevant to the press. So if you have done maybe a survey or if you have a white paper, things like marketing materials that you've already put a lot of work into, make sure that you're using those. Put them in your press kit. Give them some more life and visibility. If you have a YouTube video, we can take the URL and embed it within the press kit so it will get additional views and plays from the actual press kit itself. And you can click and play it right there. It doesn't take you off the page. So just kind of take an inventory of what type of materials you already have that would be relevant to the media besides just your news release for the events. This is an example of our press kit that we've used for a few shows actually. You can see we have our social media buttons. So we can, if you send us your social media channels, we'll create these buttons that will take you to our pages. That big green button in the center is what we call a call to action button. So if you wanted to drive traffic to a specific page to maybe register for a white paper or watch a webinar, you can put that right on your press kit and drive traffic. So again, it's just kind of, you go through the trouble of ordering the press kit and putting the news releases together, but these nice little steps like this will really take your press kit to the next level and get you some additional exposure, and really make your materials work for you. Once you've put your press kit together and you're at the event, don't wrap it up from there. You want to keep going with social media. So you follow the show hashtag, make sure you know what it is and that you're using it. Send out a tweet and post your press kit to your social media channels. We will give you a vanity URL for your press kit, so you have that to use. It's live for a year, and you can tweet that out, post it to your Facebook, whatever you want to do with it. Once you're at the show, it's also a good idea to kind of get take a look at who's trending on social media around this event. Find the thought leaders and the bloggers and influencers that you want to follow during the show, and have an online conversation with them. If they're talking about a specific topic at the event, and you have something that you can contribute to that conversation, send them a tweet, retweet their story, and add your opinion on that. And that's really the best way to get retweeted and shared and get your message going online. It's great to kind of just post a generic, stop by booth XYZ and see us and post your press kit, but the more engaged you are with online conversation, the more likely you are to get additional social media views and followers as a result of the event and your press kit. Okay, so this is just kind of a triple check. Once you're done with your press kits, it's a good idea to run through and think about, do I have all these elements? Do I have my booth number listed in the press kit so it's easy to find you at the show? Is your logo in there? Is it the most current logo? What are your contact details? So if you've sent us your desk phone number but you're going to be on the show floor, then that's not probably the best number to give us unless you're going to forward it. So make sure that the phone number and email that you provide are a good way to reach you at the show, so that if the media do want to book a quick appointment, they can get a hold of you quickly. Also think about your calendar of events during the show. Are you going to have a press conference, a discussion, a happy hour? Make sure that you put that in your press kit so that everyone knows when to come see you. Just little things like that will help drive more traffic to your actual booth at the show. Again, link to your social media channels. Make sure that you're using all of your outside elements beyond just a press release, product shots, company bios, things like that. And then I'll show you quickly just some examples of successful news releases that have stood out at past trade shows and why these releases worked. Timing is a big factor around the shows. So typically the best days to send a news release and the busiest news days for an event are the day before is usually a big media day, and then the first day of the show is when a lot of the breaking news will come out during the event. So those are generally the days that the media will be following the headlines the closest. Also, don't necessarily shy away from sending your news if the show falls on a weekend. If the show starts on Saturday, the media that are interested in getting the news aren't going to be out to brunch. They're going to be following the news topics and looking for the latest headlines. So don't worry, you don't have to wait until Monday to send a release. It's okay to send it over the weekend. Also, this is especially important if you're sending over the wire. It's nice to embargo your news release to go at an odd time. So for example, at 7 a.m. if you look at prnewswire.com, there's going to be a ton of headlines coming in because a lot of people embargoed the release for 7 a.m. But if you set it for an odd time like 7:12 for example, it's going to stay at the top of the feed longer. So all those 7 a.m. ones are going to kind of boot each other off, and then the releases that come in at the odd hour are going to stay at the top of the news page a little longer. So that's just a little tip to maybe get some more exposure and stay at the top of the feed. This is a release that Whole Foods sent out, and this is a great example of keeping your headline minimal, eliminating jargon, and really writing your own story, and not being afraid to break up the traditional format of a news release. So this is something that Whole Foods put out. The headline is, "This is what your grocery store looks like without bees," and they posted a few images with their PR Newswire release. And this release and one of these images, I believe, ended up being the cover story for Time Magazine. So it's just a great example of writing your own story. They injected their own angle into this and kept it interesting and short. So headlines that are short, eliminate all of the jargon. Those are the ones that are going to catch the media's attention the quickest and get the most views. And that's something that in a recent PR Newswire panel discussion with journalists, they went over how they would like to see the format of the traditional PR Newswire release change, meaning don't be afraid to kind of write your own story. It doesn't have to be in that standard boilerplate introductory headline. It's okay to get creative and tell your own story, and this is a great example of that. Going back to multimedia, like I said, that Whole Foods release had 2 images with it, and they ended up using the images. So including an image, even if it's just a logo with your news release, will increase traffic to your release, click-throughs, up to 10 times, almost 10 times more views than a release that's text only. It's just human nature. You're going to gravitate more towards a release that has an image with it. It's going to be more visible. So the more that you can include, again, look at what do you already have that you can use for this. Do you have a YouTube video? Do you have images, headshots, logos, things like that that you can include in your news release to help draw traffic? Sorry, Gina. Can you go back for 1 second? If you have more questions about best practices for using multimedia in a news release, creating infographics, things like that, you can ask somebody at Virtual Press Office. We're happy to give you some more resources from PR Newswire. They have a whole bank of blog posts and white papers on a lot of this information. So we're happy to help you if you're new to this and need some guidance. This is, again, a good example of, this was an actual trade show. RSNA is a trade show that happens every year in November, and Phillips tends to typically lead the headlines at the show because they do a really great job of sending out a multimedia gallery, and they continually lead the other exhibitors in press kit views. They always have a really great performing release with PR Newswire, and it's because they keep their headlines short, they use multimedia, and they tell their own story. So again, it's just a great example of thinking outside the box and driving media views and traffic to your release.
Okay, so now I'm going to touch on some of how the media benefits from the online press office and virtual press office as a whole. First off, this is an example of our daily headline emails. This is actually proactively distributed to the attending media at each Hart Energy event. So we will receive the media list and send out all of the exhibitor and show daily headlines. It also links back to the online press office, and they can also subscribe to our RSS feed or for daily or hourly updates So it's a really great way to push your news, and you know that it's getting into the right hands as it's the media that's actually going to the event. This is the Hart Energy page example. This page is really easily accessible for the media. This will be located under the media tab within each Hart Energy event. So it's really easy for the media to find the press office and to find each company if they're trying to find news about you. And so at least it's a very comprehensive way for them to find what they're looking for. Not only is your news posted to the official Hart Energy page, but it is posted to our VPOinc.com page as well. So we have a filter of the latest headlines that are coming through for different events, and media that know our name and know to come to VPOinc.com to find any news. They could research the show or your company name and find it that way if in a case they don't necessarily know that we are integrated within the Hart Energy page. So at least this gives them a second option to expand your reach of who's actually searching for you and trying to find your news. We also have the VPO Release on Demand service. So this is what I kind of touched on in the beginning of the presentation, where your press releases are distributed to our VPO network. So this is where the journalists or industry professionals will sign up to Virtual Press Office to either receive that energy news or the Hart Show specific news, and they will get pushed all of your press releases that you send out to us that is housed in your virtual online press kit. So this is just a really great way for reaching outside of the show floor. You're not just reaching the media that's attending, but you're also reaching this network of people who want to receive your news.
Thanks, Gina.
That's great.
Sorry. So let's go over some benefits of the online press kit to you as an exhibitor. The first thing is just the practicality. It's going to save you time and money, reduce costs of doing if you've done flash drives or CDs or paper packets in the past. It is typically less expensive, about a third less of the cost. So it's going to save you some budget there. It's also reducing your workload because all you do is send us the elements and we build out the press kit for you. You don't have to worry about packing up all of your press kits, shipping them out, making sure they get there. It's all virtual. We send you the vanity URL, and you can update it at any time if you needed to post something at the last minute after the show or even change something. You just we have our team of editors who build out your press kit for you, so you easily contact them and make any updates. It's also eliminating the waste. How many times have you, at least I've done this a lot, I've been at a trade show and I have my little goodie bag full of press kits and swag, and then I'll leave it in the hotel room or it doesn't fit in the suitcase, and you just never end up even looking at those kits. So it's eliminating the waste factor and putting all of your content online so it has more visibility. We're also going to improve awareness. Like I said, this press kit is live for a year, and it's search engine optimized. So especially if you're a newer company, this is maybe one of your first times doing a news release, it's going to show up in search engine results with your company name and the show name. This is an example from Toy Fair, Tech for Kids, and just American International Toy Fair. The first thing that comes up in the Google search is the online press kit. So that's live for 1 year. You can continue to use it in any way that you'd like. It's your vanity URL. So it's going to continue to give you some shelf life even after the event. Like I said, press kit materials can come in any time before, during, or after the show. So if you have a post-show news release, go ahead and send it to us. As long as it's within a few days after the show, it'll still go out to the media feed and it'll post to your kit and you'll get that additional visibility. And then your press kit is available for a year. So again, you're archiving this news. It's not just for these few days at the show. It's going to be available for 1 year. Finally, eliminating uncertainty. You do get your media usage report so you can see everyone that received your news feed. If you do a PR Newswire release, you also get additional reporting from that so you know for sure who had access to your content and who used it. This is an example of your post-show report that you get from Virtual Press Office. We give you a breakdown of the VPO contacts that received your news by industry category, geographic reach, and then we also will actually list out, we don't give the names and the email addresses, but we give their industry topic, what media outlet they're at, what they cover. So if they're an editor or a reporter, it'll list that out there and you'll see everyone that received your news. Let's talk a little bit about PR Newswire distribution. If you do have a release that you wanted to really get out there beyond just the press show page and the media attending the show, then PR Newswire is a great option for you. And through the Virtual Press Office, we're able to offer PR Newswire at special exhibitor pricing, and you don't need to join PR Newswire to become a member. You could do it right through the Virtual Press Office page for the event. Our most used package, I would say, is the National Exposure Package. And this includes, in addition to your online press kit, so that's what we've been going over this whole webinar, in addition to your press kit that holds up to 6 documents, this package also includes 1 premium national news release over PR Newswire. It could be up to 800 words. And that PR Newswire reach, you can see here, goes to global audiences, websites, prnewswire.com, mobile sites, trade publications, in addition to the media at the show. So you're getting this huge network of distribution as well. We also include something called Social Post from PR Newswire. So PR Newswire has specific industry Twitter handles, LinkedIn pages, things like that, different social network pages for specific types of news. So there's journalists and influencers that follow those Twitter handles and will post your headline with a link to your story on any of their relevant Twitter handles. I believe it's up to 4. So that's included with this package. You will also get posting to PR Newswire for journalists. This is a media-only website. You have to be a member of the press to have a login, and we have 80,000 active users. So you'll see in your reporting from PR Newswire who from that site clicked into your release, and information on their publication and their job role and things like that. So that's in the visibility report is what it's called from PR Newswire. And then if you wanted to include multimedia galleries with your PR Newswire release, we can give you some information about updating that as well. You would just reach out to Virtual Press Office and we'll go over all of your options. Web Visibility Package. This is again a combination of your online press kit plus a PR Newswire distribution. But this distribution is called WebMax Plus. And basically it's sending your news release to all of the syndicated news sites that carry PR Newswire. We have over 5,000 sites that receive the PR Newswire feed. So this is a great way to get your news release in the search engines, get it online, and it can be used for a traditional style of news release, but oftentimes this package is used to promote something that's not necessarily a traditional release. And what I mean by that is maybe you have a blog post about your presence at this event. So you want to drive some traffic to that blog post. If you send out a quick little advisory saying, promoting the blog post, maybe just a paragraph and a link to the post, you will get all sorts of new traffic to that post. So you're driving new audiences to your blog, promoting the post about the show. So you're accomplishing not just reaching the media, but this is more of an online, you're more of an online influencer and getting a new audience for your content. So things like that, think outside the box. Do you have a blog post? Again, a YouTube video, something like that that you'd really like to drive hits and traffic to. We do include posting of one image to prnewswire.com with this as well, and you do get PR Newswire visibility reports with this, as well as the virtual press office reports. So I know that's kind of a lot of information in a short amount of time, but that will hopefully give you a bird's eye view of what is an online press center, how you can participate in this, and what's the benefit of doing an online press kit and a PR Newswire distribution. But we are here to help. If you have questions and you'd like to go over this in more detail, you can send us an email. It's sales@vpoinc.com. And just let us know your company name and the show you're attending. We'll call you or set an appointment to talk. And then this is our general number. You can call and speak with our files team. There are editors who process all of your content, and they can help you and point you in the right direction as well. So please reach out to us if you have more questions. We're happy to help.
All right, great. So that is the end of the webinar. So thank you again for joining Lisa and I today. And as Lisa mentioned, if you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We definitely want you to get the best ROI out of your show and actually going to these Hart Energy events. So please feel free to contact Virtual Press Office for more information. Hope you have a great day.
Thanks, Gina.